We all love the Tesla because of its self-driving capability, or assisted self-driving capability. Obviously, I've talked about this before. The Tesla Model 3 does not have full self-driving capability today, but that doesn't mean that this car doesn't do an amazing job on the highway getting you from point A to B very easily without really any intervention with the steering wheel. So I'm going to be showing you exactly how this feature works and kind of the great features that it does do on the highway that makes highway long distance driving or daily commuting a lot easier. So I'm going to show you that right now. So we're getting onto the highway right now, and a big thing about the autopilot capability is the fact that not only can it stay within lanes, but it can also change lanes for you and prepare you to get on the exit for the off-ramp onto your journey. So I want to show you what that looks like. So we're going to go ahead, get into the lane here. Perfect. And we're going to go ahead and start the autopilot capability. So I'm just going to double tap down on the stock, and you can see here it's already gone ahead, and this autopilot capability, as you can see, is now a line, and it's going to direct me to my destination, which is Brant Street here in Burlington, Ontario. So you can see with the autopilot functionality, I have my foot off the gas. What you're gonna have to do, by the way, that Tesla will remind you to put your hand on the steering wheel just so it knows you're paying attention and that you're there. You wanna make sure that you do that. I kind of have a little cheat, and I have my leg here that kind of rests on the steering wheel, and that allows the Tesla to know that, you know, I'm focused on the road. Obviously, make sure your hands are here at all times. You wanna be able to take control of the system if something, you know, crazy happens. But in the Tesla Autopilot, I can go ahead and set how many car lengths I want to be behind the car in front of me. So you can see I have it set at about 3 car lengths, or about 3 car lengths away, and the entire autopilot capability is going to change everything that I need in terms of getting to that exit. So right now it's going straight. I'm actually in the far right lane, so it's going to keep me here in the far right lane because my maximum speed's 100 and I'm already doing 97 and I'm behind this Toyota. So it's gonna keep me here. But for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna show you what it looks like when I go over to the left. And right now, you can see it's beeping at me. It just wants a little bit of a nudge on the wheel. There you go. I'm gonna go over to the left-hand side, and I'm not gonna do this by myself. I'm just gonna simply signal. The car will go over on the left-hand side when it checks that it's safe. So I'm gonna go do that right now. So I've signaled. The car's identified an open spot for me, and it's made the turn. It stopped the signal, and now I'm in the middle lane. So that's, again, really cool. The power of this autopilot technology is impressive. It's not full self-driving tech yet, but I think this level of self-driving on the highway, honestly, it deals with the bulk of the, you know, inconvenience about long road trips on a highway that are maybe like boring or straight, and this can do a lot of that for you. So really, I think the autopilot capability is really strong. So you can see now this truck ahead of me is braking, and I feel the Tesla slowing down. The speed's just coming down a bit. It wants to keep that distance between me and that truck, which I appreciate. And obviously you can see all the cars that it's seeing here around in the map. I also like that it gives you this feedback here just to know what you're seeing with the mirrors matches what the computer is seeing. So there's a little bit of validation that the computer is seeing what you're seeing. So it gives you that confidence that it's going to take care of itself on this highway. And it is a mucky day in southern Ontario here, winter. And obviously, if you haven't seen my previous video, by the way, I've done a full review of this car with over 210,000 kilometers in winter driving conditions. And what does that mean to have an electric car in the winter? So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and I will also link that video in the card above, so you can go ahead and watch that. But this is very impressive. Again, we're about still 11 kilometers out from Brant Street. Now, let's say I wanted to go ahead and increase my speed. I can go ahead and simply put on the gas. It still remains on autopilot, and you can see that my speed is increasing. Now I'm gonna put my hand back on the wheel there. Autopilot disengaged because I was a little bit too quick on that. So I just re-engaged autopilot. And so now we're at about 100 kilometers an hour. Now the car is slowing down. The Tesla is slowing down significantly now because this truck's in front of me. It's detected this truck here on my left. And look at that. So it's really keeping that distance between me and the other car in front of me. I have all of that control in the autopilot settings. So if I were to go to here and I was to go to autopilot, you can see here I have all of these settings here. And right now it's changing lanes, or it's wanting to change lanes. And there's a car coming here. I wanted to see what it does. And it's not changing lanes. See, the car was right there. It's deciding no. And I actually don't want this to change lanes right now. So I'm gonna take control, go back into autopilot to my destination. And we have some traffic up ahead. So let's see what happens here. But you can see all of the settings around forward collision warning, your offset, your speed limit, everything here really you can customize on the autopilot settings. All through here, which is really powerful. Again, we're coming through some traffic here. Let's see what happens. Autopilot slowing down. This is good. So right now it's showing me, you know, with faster speeds, slower speeds, it's able to adjust and manage these conditions. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know why it was trying to go in the left lane. Probably because it's trying to get to that speed limit. If this lane's slower, it's going to try to go ahead and get to that speed. But right now it's doing a great job, you know, managing some winter traffic that we're facing in Southern Ontario, where speeds can go up, speeds can go down. You want something secure. Car here to my left. So what I'm going to do now is I can see that it's clear on my left hand side. I'm going to go ahead and signal that I want to actually switch lanes. So let's see if it's going to do that. And it does. Now the only reason why I had to put my hand here was because that blue warning came up on the screen and it showed that I needed to have my hands on the steering wheel. It was maybe past that 45-second mark where the Tesla requires that you know, make sure you have your hands there. It wants to make sure you're attentive with the car. Obviously, that's because of all the crazy stories we heard of people sleeping in their Teslas while driving on the highway and getting themselves killed. You do not want to do that. Really, the great purpose of this is on longer road trips, it allows you to not have the fatigue of being constantly monitoring all of the conditions on the road every single second. You're still going to be doing it. You're still obviously going to be paying attention to the road, but it just gives you a little bit less fatigue in managing that long commute or that long road trip that you have. So again, the blue is indicating to me, just get a little bit of pressure on the steering wheel. We can continue on. Having some more braking here. It's slowing down. More braking. Let's see if it slows down. We're still at 80. And by the way, I reviewed the 2021 Hyundai Elantra, and I also reviewed the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Both of them have similar functionality on the highway, but I have to say the Tesla is a cut above. I felt with the Hyundai, it was bouncing between lanes a little bit, like it was coming left, right. It was just a little bit bouncy, especially in some bigger lanes. Made me feel a little bit uncomfortable at times. But obviously Tesla's been doing this for a lot longer. Software of Tesla is one of their unique differentiators, and they've done a great job with the autopilot system here. It really keeps me in the lane, and it's consistent. I don't feel like I'm worried, I'm bouncing here and there, back and forth. This is the cool feature. It knows that I'm going to be going onto this off-ramp soon. Now it's going to make this lane change. It saw that my hands were on it. I'm paying attention. It's gone ahead and done that. It's preparing for this off-ramp in 5 kilometers. It's getting me to that position so I can go ahead and exit. I appreciate that 5 kilometers before the exit, it's doing this, right? It's not going to rush. You know, sometimes we forget. It's not going to rush with 1 kilometer left to get from the left all the way to the right lane and potentially put yourself in a dangerous situation. The fact that it's doing all of this for you ahead of time, automatically, it's thinking about it to your destination, it's really quite impressive. I really, really enjoy taking this car out on a road trip, and I really enjoy just looking at the technology do its thing. It's honestly really, really impressive. And again, so this truck here, big salt truck, I think, is slowing down. It's turning lanes. The car has slowed down. And now it's picking back up. It sees some space ahead of us, and it wants to get to that max speed, so it's picking up speed here. And really, like, this is an amazing experience doing this, right? You're just sitting, I'm having a conversation with you guys, talking about this, and honestly, I'm quite comfortable. If you had a coffee or having a drink, you can go ahead and enjoy the drive, but maybe don't get so fatigued on those longer road trips. So again, in these situations, like, I always just make sure my hands are here. There's a car coming here. The autopilot did the braking. I put my foot down there just to make sure, but the autopilot fully saw that and did the braking, and there it goes. It's gone ahead and done that into the right lane. Again, it did a good job. It did that all by itself. It knows to get over to the right lane because we're about to exit on Brant Street, and it's keeping up to that speed limit max that I've set for it, and it's taking me across these curves. We've been driving primarily on a straight road here, but even on some of these highway curves, it manages this perfectly. I haven't had a single problem with it going through these curves. So now here's going to be a really big test. Now we're going to see how it actually does slowing down onto an off-ramp with quite a big curve on the off-ramp to get to the main street. So let's see how it does. I'm obviously just going to get my hands ready to interact with the steering wheel if I need to. There it goes. It's done the lane change on the right-hand side. It's keeping its speed. It knows, by the way, that I'm going right on this new street that we're coming up to on the exit. So it's getting over to the right lane, and it didn't stay on the left lane. So again, it did that right away, slowing down significantly, and now it's gone ahead and removed itself from the main autopilot. It's still taking me through here, through the lane, onto this off-ramp. It's doing all of the steering for me. It's slowing down for me.
Now turn right onto Brant Street.
And now it won't turn right here, so I'm going to take control and turn right and get onto Brant. And that is...
Now turn left onto North Service Road.
That is how the autopilot works on the highway. I'm going to take you through some more normal streets with the autopilot, show you what that looks like, but again, really powerful technology. This is obviously a huge differentiator for Tesla. This is why a lot of people are looking and gravitating towards a Tesla. Not only were they the first to really make this technology simple, easy to use, and strong enough on the highway that it's actually useful, but they continue to add features into this technology, and they continue to add functionality on the autopilot. Of course, a lot of flack for Elon and Tesla talking about full self-driving, still not here yet, but quite honestly, this highway functionality with autopilot is so useful and strong, especially for those people that are, going on the highway, which is traditionally, I would say, the most stressful type of driving. It's highway, traffic, long distances. Autopilot saving you for that. So I think Tesla did an amazing job here with this technology. We'll go through some roads here on the left-hand side, check it out a little bit more. But again, I'm really impressed. Let me know. What are your comments? Do you think that's impressive? Do you have another car that maybe is doing something similar to this that maybe I don't even know about? Or are you a Tesla owner and you have some ideas around how autopilot could be improved, and maybe you can share your experiences? Let me know in the comment box down below. I'd love to hear about that. We're taking this now onto some of these main street roads, and we're going to engage the autopilot. Gonna go left. Nope, it's decided it's not gonna do that, so we'll just continue to go straight. Take control here. Now I'll put back the autopilot. By the way, again, these are not road conditions that are completely visible and clean, so it's doing a decent job in seeing the lanes even in these conditions. I think it's going a little bit too left here. It might not fully see this yellow lane, but now it's adjusting, it sees it. And again, this is managing even these turns. I'd say this is quite a significant turn. It's managing this turn quite well. And again, the lanes aren't fully visible, right? The right lane I can't actually see. It's doing its guesstimate around where these lanes are. It's taking me through these turns quite effectively. Again, this is blocked off. You don't see much of the lane here. Now the car's figured out, okay, it's right over there. It's adjusted quite quickly. I appreciate that it adjusts quickly to when it finds out where the lane is. And between all the technologies and the sensors, it does a really good job. I will say, oh, there it goes. So it didn't give me much feedback that it would turn off there. That's why you always have to pay attention, but turn that back on. The great thing about this is that it builds confidence in me because it reacts quickly and it gives me feedback most of the time immediately when it's actually losing control. So here we go, red light, car in front of me stopping, and the car has just come to a stop by itself. Really cool. Really cool. And again, I've only been driving this car, and thank you to one of my subscribers who's kind enough to go ahead and give this to me for about a week and a half. I've only had this car for about a week at this point, and I've been doing a lot of driving with it. But I will say what's very impressive so far is these use cases for it, for the self-driving and the autopilot. Maybe I haven't had it long enough to find more of the quirks, but quite honestly, after a week of having it, I did a big long road trip. Again, I'll link that video in the card above. I found it's been really successful and really strong. I really love the functionality and the capability of this. And you know, the screen, having everything here, I think this adds a little bit of confidence in me when I see that it can identify all the things that I identify with my eyes. And that gives me validation that the system's working properly. It's seeing what I see by myself, and it gives me confidence that it's actually going to manage driving for me and not, you know, kill me. The last thing I want to do is put myself in danger, and I always do feel that this car is allowing me to be safe, and it gives me the feedback that I need when I need it. And then just like the power, this thing, oh, woo! This thing is fast. This thing is very fast. It's scary fast, actually. It is scary fast. But that is my look at Autopilot for this Tesla Model 3 dual motor. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment box down below. If you like this video, again, make sure you give it a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You know, we're gonna have some fun. Maybe go to a parking lot, test out these winter tires, see how they do. But overall, really impressed with the Autopilot capability on this car. I will catch you guys in the next video. Who says you can't have fun in a Tesla? I don't know. Look, there's just so much torque. Look at this. You just go sliding and slipping. It's just, look at this. This is actually nuts. It's just gobbles of torque. You don't even know what to do with it. Woo! So much power. Just crazy power. Just crazy power. Oodles of power. This is definitely fun. Wow. It just lets go. Look, the power, the instant torque. Unbelievable. Look at that. Just a little bit and you're loose. Oh, this is crazy.